Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. We're 5 nights a week, most of the time. We give you the latest, the greatest, the shameless, largely from the famous of the entertainment industry. I haven't said that in a while. I need to go back to saying it
You
like
do.
twice a week.
Need to go back to it. Yes.
Yeah, we need to go back to explaining that off the rip. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on, so that means also aka Rearview Mirror.
And I'm Dash, aka Dash MD, aka the real king of R&B, aka cool grandma, but not really. Ow.
Ow!
And I'm
All
particularly
right.
excited today
Why is that?
because we're talking about R&B.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Let's talk about the rhythm and the blues.
Yeah. So first, let's just start by saying Ari Lennox dropped a new song called Vacancy a while ago now, over a week ago. And
Yeah.
no one has been talking about this. I haven't seen this on the podcast, on the blogs, on the pillows, none of the places. Ari, you yawned. I had to do it. I haven't seen it in any places that I normally would see people talking about Ari Lennox or music. And so I'm really concerned about that. And we're going to get to that. But first, let's talk about the record.
What did you think?
I think this is great. I think it's okay. Now, Dash likes to make fun of me and say that I'm very into breaking down the instrumentation and the sample and all of those things. And I haven't really been doing that for a while. But actually, this time, I've got to do it.
Because you can.
Because I can, and also because it's too familiar not to do it. So you got the pattern that's very familiar from Where I'm From by Jay-Z, right? That pattern is very familiar. And so you hear that when the drums come in, right? And then you got the sample itself, that's a familiar sample. And Ari doing what Ari does in a way that's very familiar. And so already this feels like something I've heard before. Already when you press play, this sounds like, oh, okay, I know exactly what I'm about to get, and I'm excited that I'm about to get that. So Ari delivers. This is working with, written by Ari, Brian Michael Cox, and Jermaine Dupri. And so when you got that team together, it's gonna be good stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, hard to work with Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri, and that collab, that's what they do. So when you with that duo, rather, I should say, not collab, that duo, they know what they're doing, and so does Ari, right? And so I thought this was great. Also, as a fan of Ari and remembering the struggles that Ari has been going through, now that she's off Dreamville, I thought, man, what a smart move for Interscope, I believe that's the label she's on, to send her down to ATL to be with Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a smart move. Now I will say, we don't know if this was Interscope or if this song already existed and it was done with Dreamville. I don't want to act like I know everything, because I don't. But that was my thought. If this
You're
was
a musician.
Interscope,
I'm just gonna start saying that from now on. Well, you're a musician. You should know.
no, that's not how it works. But I do think that this is a smart move regardless, and I wanted to say that. As for the song itself, it's sensual, it's sexy, it's innovative in the way that she's telling you to come be inside of her. She's not even literally saying all the words. This was a very I'm gonna dance on the topic, but I'm gonna keep missing the mark. I'm never gonna say the thing you really want me to say, but I'm gonna show that I'm too creative to just say, the other things that the rap girls say, right? The rap girls are like, put it in my throat, put it down my mouth. And Ari's like, no, we're not going to do that. That's how the rap girls are, right? The rap girls are like, yeah, put it in this tight little pink thing. Yeah, and it's like, no. Ari's saying like all these other ways. What? That's what the rap girls say.
Yep, that's what they say.
You could clip it up. It's fine. That's what the
Oh, I
rap
will
girls say. So while the rap girls are saying the most explicit of lines,
tonight.
just make
Right
sure you include the
away.
part that says. Just make sure you include the part that say the rap girls say, because if you just put a clip out that says "put it down my mouth," people gonna be like, "Wait a minute, let me DM him, JD.
What
We ain't
is
even know,
going
JD.
on
We ain't even
here?
know. We ain't know that's how you was giving it up, JD."
Right.
Anyway, I'm not. But while the rap girls are saying the most explicit of
Not
lines,
after
I
that
thought this
clip
was a
comes
great
out.
way.
Sorry.
I thought this was a great way for Ari to say it in many different ways, right?
Mhm.
I need you to fill a vacancy. I
Yes.
said, oh, this is perfect. This is great. And I don't know if
Mhm.
Ari's going to like this part or not because, well, we'll get to it in a minute. But this is on brand. This sounds like a sensual, sexy Ari Lennox record.
Yes, it does. So I don't have my
I
notes
thought,
in front
okay,
of
on
me.
brand. Great. Oh, I'm sorry. Please go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry. I thought you were wrapping up. Um, please go ahead if you're not done.
No, that was it. I was saying this was a sexy R&B song for Ari, which is completely on brand.
Oh yes, definitely on brand. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was listening to some real R&B, which I'd be looking for sometimes. But yeah, some of the things I said in my notes that I cannot see right now. First I said, "Is that JD?" Not this
Yes, it
one, the
was
other one.
the other JD, the
Yeah, I was like,
OG
"Is that?"
JD.
Yeah, I was like, "Is that Jermaine Dupri?"
Sure
And
was.
then I was like, "Yeah, it absolutely is." So that was a nice surprise. Um, as you said, Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri. I mean, you can't really go wrong there when it comes to R&B. Uh, if I see Brian Michael Cox's name before I actually hear a song, I'm listening to the song. That's just,
Right.
I mean, he's been making hits since we were kids. So, you know, in my book, like, that's the guy you need. That's the guy you call.
Right. Yeah, that duo.
So right. So this did not disappoint. I thought Ari sounded good. I feel like I didn't really love the beginning, the very beginning of the song. Um but it immediately shifts. It doesn't take very long to get to the point where I'm like, "Oh, this is good. This is good." But I remember thinking, I don't really care for this start to the song, but
Okay.
quickly feeling like, okay, we've bounced off of that, and that's not gonna be, because I was worried. I was like, is the whole song gonna be this way? So yeah, so I really enjoyed it. As you said, I thought it was a really sexy song. Um and Ari sounds great. Ari is thriving. At least it appears so, which I love. I'm happy that this is where we're at and that she's releasing music and seems to be in a better space. And I hope to hear more. I also remember thinking to myself as I was listening to this that I remember not really loving the last single she put out. It was a while
Smoke.
ago. Yeah, but it was a while ago. And I remember not really loving that song. I thought it had great things about it, but it just wasn't one of my favorites of hers. And I feel like hearing this song kind of brought me back. So I was excited about that because I think she's super talented and such a great artist. And I love her sound. Um, I think her sound is unique. I don't think a lot of people sound like her. So
Right.
it's always nice to get some new music from her. And like I said, she's very classic in the type of music she creates, Also, you said something too that I love about R&B is that sometimes they are saying some of the nastiest, raunchiest things, but it sounds so smooth. It don't even sound like you're not like, oh, vulgar. Ah, it's more like, oh, this is nice. Wait, what did they say? You kind of have to
Right.
catch yourself a little bit. So I love that. I think she does that well.
Yeah, I immediately, when listening to this, when I heard "I want you to fill this vacancy," I was like, "Oh, what a clever way to say that!" Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the best things. Sometimes when you're writing, changing things in a clever, small way make a big difference. Right? Where in WAP, I think it's Cardi who says, I wanted to hit that little ball thing hanging in the back of my throat." That is super specific and gives you a very, very vulgar visual. Where "fill this vacancy," it could mean a lot of things.
It can mean
I mean,
it's
we
a
know what it
double
means as we
entendre.
continue to listen. Right, right. And so I think it's a really, really interesting way to kind of go the opposite route and say a lot of the same things that we've heard in other sexual songs. And me and you are opposites on Smoke. I felt like this was a very safe record for Ari. I
Mm.
felt like this was a song that was on brand with Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri. We can't really go wrong right here. It's Ari's sound, it's great writers with her. It's not going to go really bad. The only complaint I got about the entire song is we don't need Jermaine Dupri in the beginning talking. That's really it. I don't have any other real criticisms of this record. This is a great record, but it's a safe record. That's my own. That like I felt like Smoke was more of Ari taking a risk,
It
Ari
was.
doing something a little different, something maybe not on brand, but something really, really dope. And so me and you kind of see these two records differently. On an album, I'm sure it's going to sound great together, but I'm just saying if we're
Yeah.
talking single versus single, I think Smoke is more interesting as a single than Vacancy because Vacancy
Yes.
is a safe play.
That's true. Those are true
And
statements. I think I'm just more of a classic R&B person, so I resonate more with No Vacancy. But you know, yeah.
just Vacancy, not the word no, Vacancy.
Oh, I'm sorry. No
It's
Vacancy is
okay.
something else.
Um
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Vacancy is definitely classic R&B. I just want to say, to be clear, I will be bumping both records. I'm an Ari fan. I'm not trying to say I won't listen to one or the other. I will be listening to both records and the album whenever it comes out.
Oh,
I'm just saying it because
I'm
you
ready
brought
for
it
the
up.
album.
Right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. I was gonna say when you think we get an Ari album.
I think we get it the top of the year.
Yeah, same. I was thinking January, February, first
Yeah,
quarter.
I think we get it top of the year. I don't think we get it. I don't think we get it before the end of the year. We're already in Q4, so it's
Right.
I don't know if we'll get that, um, but yeah, a full body hear it as part of a full body of work. Absolutely, I would love to. You know, maybe I'll have a different perspective on it. I remember listening to, um, I think it was one of Kehlani's songs where once I heard it, like actually Kehlani was different. It was once I heard it outside of the album, I liked it better. It was the
Okay.
other way around, yeah. Because I had heard it on the album and was like, I don't think I like this. And then I started hearing it like as a single, and I was like, this is kind of good. So we'll see. I'm never mad. I'm also an Ari fan. I definitely want a full body of work from her whenever she's ready to give it to us. So
Yeah, same. Um, well, there is a new body of work coming that I think is really interesting. And as a superhero fan, I'm really, really fucking excited. There is a Superman and Spiderman comic book coming out very, very soon. Let me pull up the post here so I can read what it says to y'all. It says here by DC Graham, Superman and Spider-Man are back again. DC will publish Superman slash Spider-Man #1 in March, followed by Marvel Comics publishing Spider-Man slash Superman #1 in April. Creative teams will be announced soon for this link up, I almost said lineup, for this link up between Superman and Spider-Man. Yo, this is exciting shit for me, man. And for the world, because this is statistics, not my opinion. These are the two most popular characters in the world. And so putting them together and issuing comic books is really fucking exciting. And I'm curious to see how these two issues are going to be different, because one is Spider-Man Superman #1, one is Superman Spider-Man #1. And so I'm curious, are these going to be intertwined? Do you have to buy both to follow the story? Or is each company putting out their own story and they're going to be totally different? I have mad questions and I'm super excited about this.
It sounds exciting. You know, as someone who has, you know, in recent years been indoctrinated into the superhero, I don't even, I can't call it a universe
Universe.
because that is small, but you know what I mean, into the atmosphere of these superheroes. Um, I'm excited. I'm curious about, like you said, about story. Like, what's what's happening here? Like, what are like what I assume we're getting the two perspectives, right? But what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? I'm really curious about that. Like, how are they setting that up? Something that I've always said that I love about Marvel specifically, and DC is definitely doing it too. But something I've always said about Marvel as I dove into the MCU was that I love the way stories get woven together. While it's not what drew me in, it's the story is definitely what kept the weaving of the stories is definitely what kept me there. I think it's so interesting the way there's all of these different entities that connect to each other. And I think that's good storytelling. So I can
Right.
only imagine that putting these two together and creating comics off of their stories and how they intersect and whatnot would be really interesting. So I think this is great as well. I don't have any like you said, there's so many questions to ask about what it will be.
Right.
But I think I've said this before. I think that's part of the excitement when it comes to the superhero stuff is that some of there's a lot of things people know, right? But there's also so much to wonder about. And I think that's nice when it comes to things like this, right? Like in our regular everyday mundane, we've got to deal with all of these different things that are serious and you know, work and school and kids and whatever. But I love the escapist part of um, immersing yourself in something like this. So the wonder, the questions, the you know the curiosity that um, it invokes in us, I think is really exciting.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something that I'm like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Like I wonder what they do with this and what story they tell. I think it'll be really interesting.
Yeah. And I'm curious about what writers are going to be involved, because there are writers who have written for both companies and done really
Hmm.
well. So I'm curious, will they call upon some of those writers to do these stories?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's really interesting. We'll have to keep an eye out and see how this goes.
Yeah. March.
March. Got it. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
have you know, um Superman,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and Nicki Minaj.
Yep. Yep. All the characters. All right.
Yes.
Yep. Big updates over at YouTube. Let's talk about it. As we know, all the tech companies have been copying each other. And some of that is
Yes.
happening at YouTube. at this point. But there's also something really interesting that's happening as well. So what is that? First, YouTube is now allowing you to do collaborator posts. Just like Instagram, the post will live on both feeds. So if Weeknights puts out a video, we can now go to the collab page and put another person there. And if they accept this video, and this video will live on Weeknights YouTube feed, but also on that person's YouTube feed.
Yeah.
That is really awesome because sometimes you see things that are collaborative way later on, and you're like, hey, I didn't know so and so did a video with the person I follow.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I didn't know the person I watched every video of was on this other person's platform. And so now you'll
Right.
be able to see it on both, which I think is a really, really good feature to add for something like YouTube, where there is a lot of cross collaboration when it comes to certain
Definitely.
fields. Like, even if you look at workout videos, at this point, a lot of the people who are workout video YouTube people are doing workouts with other people, right? It's like, oh, well, this person is a runner and this person does a lot of calisthenics at home. They linked up together and one went for a run and the other one did calisthenics. And so you get to see those videos now will live on both feeds.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I think it's also really cool for music. What'd you say?
I said very cool.
Oh, yeah. I also think it's really cool for music, right? So if it's JD featuring the king of R&B, Dashing D, now you don't got to go look for it when it comes out. You'll see it live on both pages. So I think this is
Yeah.
really good for especially big collaborations where it'll help both feeds. And I guess both people's audiences will be able to funnel in easier because now you don't got to go look for the Drake record featuring so and so. It'll be on both pages.
Yeah.
So there's that. The other thing I think is interesting is, which is more interesting in my opinion, is what YouTube is doing with lives. So now live will be the regular way, but it will also be vertical, right? And so you got horizontal video and vertical video simultaneously, aka at the same damn time,
Louis and Gucci.
at the same damn time.
Yeah.
So I think this is really interesting. Also, included in that is multiple feeds will combine into one chat. So when you're live, I guess it will serve two audiences. I don't know the full details of this part yet, but it looks like it'll serve two different audiences, but become one chat for you to respond to. Really cool. And they also added another feature that goes with this, which is YouTube's AI. When your live is finished, will automatically slice up that live into shorts for you to post on your YouTube.
That's pretty freaking cool.
That is fly. I think that is really cool. As a creator, that's really exciting because now I don't have to worry about finding another program to chop up the clips or how I'm going to get the recording to do it. And so it will give you options to post on shorts. And the other
Yeah.
thing is they're also rolling out another thing that's part of this, which is a live reaction to other people's videos. So you can respond to you can watch and react to other people's videos on a live. And so I think this is really interesting as well because we kind of had to find creative ways to do that
To
before.
do that.
Now you'll be able to do it right on the live.
Yeah. I like this. Clearly, YouTube is looking to leverage more live content. So I think that's interesting. And I think for any creators that are watching this, I think they're telling you they want you to go live. I think that's exactly what they're saying to you,
Yep.
that they want you to go live. And as we know, or maybe you don't know, but I think when it comes to all of these platforms, they tell you sometimes without telling you what they're looking for you to do, and they also reward you when you do whatever it is they're pushing. And by reward you, I mean maybe there's more eyes on whatever your content is. So it's definitely something to pay attention to.
Right.
And if you don't keep up with the updates that happen on YouTube or wherever, I feel like it's very useful to keep up with that because again, they're telling you, even though they might not explicitly be saying, please go on live, they're telling you, hey, look at what we did with our live feature. Please try it out, you know?
Right.
So I think that's something really important to keep in mind. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I know some people were wanting us to go live when I returned from the BBL. So, maybe this is something we need to look into. Maybe we need to do some more lives.
Right.
It's been challenging, and I will say that for anyone who can identify, it's been challenging going live on YouTube together. So I think it's also great if they're making these upgrades and they're making these changes that it'll probably be a more streamlined process. But we can attest to the fact that in the past we have had challenges trying to collaborate on lives and trying to just,
Yeah.
get that together. But it sounds like they're actually putting a bit more into that feature. So, yeah, I definitely want to try it out.
Same. Very curious about it.
Yeah, yeah. And
All
that's
right.
really all we have for you today.
Exactly. Took the words right out my mouth.
Time
All
to
right,
go.
ladies and gentlemen, time to go. This has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.